He throws up on the bride and it's all red wine that comes out onto her wedding dress.
What would you have done, Jones?
If my uncle threw up on me, wow.
Hello, it's Hazel.
Hey, it's Azura.
And I'm Germaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clarity's
Hush Podcast. You guys really love it when we talk about weddings. Are you all getting married or something?
Is it wedding season?
Yeah.
I sure hope so. Jermaine, you weren't here the other day, but
Yes.
when Yurong was here, we did this episode on whether we should have grand weddings, big scale weddings, or like just cozy, intimate, small weddings. And apparently a lot of our Harsh Podcast listeners and viewers loved it.
Oh, the episode.
Yeah,
or
the
intimate
episode.
weddings.
Maybe.
I think half and half.
Half and half, yeah. So today we are back with another wedding episode. But this time, I think it's more on the fears of holding a wedding.
It's like why brides are usually called like bridezillas.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Or, sometimes when people just absolutely ruin your weddings, we're not telling this to scare you. I think we're just saying be prepared for everything. Yes.
I think like every other event, right? I don't want to say anything that can go wrong will go wrong, but I think anything can happen. And like something that is less important, you're sort of like prepared for it, right?
True.
Like if something goes wrong, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, there's a chance of that. But I think when it comes to weddings, because it's going to happen like once in your life, for most people,
You almost want it to go perfect. It's
Yes.
not possible, but you do want every detail to be right. So let me ask you girls, do you have any fears when it comes to holding a wedding?
it's not something I've thought about lah.
Okay, cool.
No, I've thought about it,
Do you have fears?
but I don't think I will.
Really?
Because if I can't change the circumstances, then I have to change my mindset.
Wow.
So no matter what happens,
Yeah.
I just have to adapt to the situation and change the way I think. That's the only way I can come out of this wedding feeling happy.
You see, I'm not there yet. I will get there one day.
Is that what we're
Hopefully-
working towards?
Yeah, I'm working towards that with my therapist. No, I'm just kidding. Can I tell you my wedding fears?
Okay.
I'm afraid that I will have a wardrobe malfunction and that my dress will bust open. I'm afraid that I will trip and fall while I walk down the aisle. I'm afraid that I will have a huge ass pimple on the day of my wedding that I can't cover up. I'm afraid that I don't get to eat the good food at my own wedding because I'm so busy. I'm afraid that people won't enjoy themselves. And most of all, I'm afraid that during that moment when I kiss my groom, some auntie or uncle will walk in front of the photographer with her iPhone 10 and take a photo and block the shot.
Wait, the iPhone.
I have a few solutions.
Or her
personal attack.
Worse. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, like, you only have one shot at that moment. If the auntie walks in front,
Baby, that's not an issue at all. You just have to recreate that moment. Laugh about it and say, oh, you don't want to
I
recreate
want
the
it to
moment?
be like one shot, one kill.
Move to another backdrop. Do the same thing. Have the
Okay,
photographer
no.
take it.
Some of those I have solutions for.
Yes, please.
Okay, like I will take the responsibility to bring a kit that contains everything that will fix your wardrobe malfunction.
You
okay?
are.
I.
You,
Okay.
you can sew.
I can.
Oh, okay. Okay, Azura.
Okay, I'll bring safety pins.
Sure.
Cleaning things.
Sure, okay,
Everything.
okay.
Okay, we'll have that. Okay, can.
Yeah.
The iPhone auntie.
Yeah.
I think. What do you think of asking everybody to keep their phones, or do you want people to take?
No, it's fine to take, but like sometimes
Not
they,
in
they-
front of the official
Yeah.
Okay, then
photographer.
we'll make an announcement. No
Okay.
moving from your seats, please.
If you see someone moving when
Tell
I'm
them,
about to
"Move,
kiss my
bitch!"
groom, no, you better tackle them.
Yes, okay.
To the ground.
I
Even
tackle?
if it's my grandma. I'm just kidding. If it's my grandma, no choice.
Then that song will be cute.
Yeah, it's cute. But I have so many fears. Things that could be out of my control. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
I think Hazy comes from a place where she's like, I've done my best to plan. Whatever will be, will be. I will enjoy myself.
Like we mentioned in the previous episode, I feel like marriage is forever, but a wedding is only temporary. So why let this temporary thing ruin your relationship? It's not worth it. So no matter what happens, I feel like just laugh it off. In any case, you can make a reel about it. It might even go viral.
I think some of
It
these
probably will lah.
some of these fears are rational, some are irrational. Our
Okay.
PDN has a really rational fear that I didn't have before, but now I have, so thanks to you. And maybe now after you listen to it, you might have this fear too. People who know me know that I have a very small bladder, she says. So naturally, it was my top concern during my nikah ceremony. What's a nikah ceremony?
Solemnization.
Solemnization during her nikah ceremony. She was so afraid of having to pee that she didn't drink a single ounce of water. She was dehydrated during her nikah ceremony. And imagine this just like walking down the aisle to the love of your life, thinking like, I don't want to pee, like I have to take off everything, my veil, this and that. Maybe what if it drops into the toilet bowl, I get wet and stuff, That's very stressful.
But at the same time, I feel like when you're busy, you will be distracted from that feeling.
True.
You know what I mean?
Of having to pee?
Yes.
I also got a very small bladder. I mean,
Me
we
too,
all
me
know
too.
I got bladderal issues.
Maybe wear a diaper then or something.
Actually,
Did you consider that PDN? Yeah, she
Have
says
you
sounds like a
ever
joke.
ever
have
thought
it.
about if you start bleeding the day before your
Into
wedding?
my dress?
No, as in like
the day
you're on
before.
your period
Oh,
and it's like
Well,
still
the-
heavy.
okay, but that's manageable, I feel.
I think that's
It's
okay
manageable.
because then my
That's
boobs will
okay,
look
yeah.
bigger, you know.
Positive thinking, see, Jeremy?
And it's not like people have sex on the night of the wedding anyway. So what's the point?
Really? But
Yeah.
the fear of
Too tired.
leaking.
Fear of leaking, no, because I don't have a heavy flow these days.
Okay.
Or wear diaper again.
Wear
that
diaper.
seems to be the answer.
Okay, so someone from online says 8 days till her wedding and she's still chasing down a billion small details. Her biggest wedding fear is that the officiant will announce us by the wrong name.
Ah.
She changed her last name several years ago and most people still call her by her old name, which is fine, she says. But she just does not want that to happen at the wedding because she wants to be called by her new name.
Okay.
So her biggest fear is that the officiant will call her by the old one and she does not like it because she will physically cringe and it will look horrible in the pictures.
Oh.
So actually what happened? Can update us?
Yeah.
Did they call you by your right
Did
name?
she get married? Yeah.
But to third party point of view, I feel like all this seems so subtle and so small. Do you guys agree? Like, if she calls you by the wrong name, you know, I would just double confirm with the officiant before everything begins. So
True.
please call me by the new name. You know
I
what
think when you think about a wedding, aside from it, like, you know, people plan for it because it's once in a lifetime, right? But also, you know, people spend a year, 2 years planning for it.
Yep.
So you're so invested in this thing and you've spent so much time and so much money and you've had this idea in your head, you know, since you were a child or whatever it was. So I think people, as much as possible, want it to be as fairy tale as they can.
They just have expectations, right? I think that is not a big expectation to have the right name be
Exactly.
said, but the fear is a bit irrational, right? Because obviously this is in your mind. This next fear that I read on Reddit is very rational.
Okay.
Now I'm worried also.
you need to stop reading this.
This person, Kayla Bear, says,
Okay.
I'm so terrified of getting sick right before my wedding. I try to mask up everywhere I go. I stayed home as much as possible, tried not to, you know, be exposed to any germs or bacteria. But, you know, it gets very stressful close to the wedding. Usually people stay up late preparing. Your immune system goes down. And she's been thinking about it. And she's stressing about the weather, stressing about the ceremony. All this stress contributes to whether or not you might fall sick.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking about it. What if you're like super, super sick on the day of your wedding?
You
Just power through?
Yes, just go ahead with it.
What if you catch dengue? Then how?
Actually, what's the solution to that?
Got happened before, no? Huh?
Very sad eh. Have you ever attended a wedding that's really had like, well, not a disaster, not like ground shaking disaster, but like, wow, you would not want this to happen at your wedding.
Okay. I was not there
Okay.
because this was a very small solemnization ceremony. So basically just RM. So this couple that I know only had like 2 of their closest friends or 3 of their closest friends there. No one else was supposed to be there. So basically it was supposed to be a civil RM ceremony. And one party's family was not happy that it's not a religious solemnization.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they had parents who were not going to be there, had sent a relative, an uncle, an auntie, I think an uncle, I can't remember. So basically went to find out when it was going to be, what time it was going to be, send a relative there to basically like try and stop it.
Oh, I thought as a representative to be a witness to the signing of the
send your
ROM.
blessings, right?
To try and stop it.
To try and stop it.
Yeah,
So
well-
it was like chaos. And you know, like these slots are like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that's it. Like you sign and get out.
Gosh, that's horrible.
Did it happen? Did he stop it?
No, as in there was a whole like fire and everything, but like they carried on with it lah. But so sad.
That's quite sad.
How unhappy that memory must have been, right? When you look back on your signing of the papers, your solemnization, the bride and the groom is not going to feel good about it.
Like the photos, throw them, burn them. I never want to see them again. It's like the uncle going like, I object. that would be, out of everything we've heard, that would be the worst.
Yeah, actually.
But the one that I've seen, I think I spoke about this in our very first wedding episode.
Okay.
But I have to reiterate again. I was at a wedding. It was my ex's cousin's wedding.
Your ex's cousin.
Yeah,
Okay.
my ex's cousin's wedding. So this was a lunch wedding. And usually at lunch weddings, you don't tend to drink too much.
Uh-huh.
But I think his uncles were very like alcoholic
Happy.
types. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were drinking like so much wine and whiskey and all of that. At the end of the banquet, one of the uncles at my table was slumped out,
no.
passed out on the table.
Okay.
And he starts to vomit red wine all over the banquet table that we're sitting at.
Oh
And it just starts to spread across the white tablecloth and gets closer to me. And I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And as we were leaving, he needed help to leave the venue because he was completely so
Can I
drunk.
presume when this happened, it was
Yeah.
towards the end of the wedding already?
This was the end. The courses were all done already.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone was trying to leave and stuff like that. So as we were leaving the venue, in a Chinese wedding, usually the bride and groom and the parents say bye in a line at the exit of the wedding. So someone's helping this uncle out and he's still trying to say bye, right?
Oh, no.
He throws up on the bride and it's all red wine that comes out onto her wedding dress.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. How did she react?
Yeah. I want to know.
It was chaotic. She was just like, ah! But it was like at the bottom of the dress. So it wasn't like on her chest or anything. But still, I felt really bad.
What would you have done, Jones?
If my uncle threw up on me, wow,
She got headache thinking about it.
my blood pressure is going up.
And it's not even your uncle. Your husband's uncle.
No,
threw
it's
up
her
on you.
uncle.
Oh,
It's
it's
her
her
uncle.
uncle.
Oh, it's
Okay,
uncle,
okay.
correct.
I'd be really pissed off, man.
Well,
Wow.
now that would be my biggest fear.
This would be your biggest fear?
Yeah. To have someone's vomit on you?
Yeah, gross, right? But it's red wine. It's all red.
No, that does not help.
No, but when it comes out of someone, it's not like an even red.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
And there's a stench.
It was not a pretty sight.
But to be fair, that uncle must have felt guilty for life.
If he does, if he doesn't,
If he probably didn't remember anything. I don't know.
what if, let's make it worse.
Why?
What if that's a lunch ceremony, right? Let's say you're at 2, a lunch and a dinner, and this happens at lunch.
Yeah.
Do you think your mood would be like ruined for the rest of the day? And you still got dinner to do?
I mean, given that it was towards the end of the wedding, right, during lunch, I probably took all the photos I wanted to take already.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be that pissed off.
Okay.
But I would make him pay for the dry cleaning of
Of
the dress.
course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Then also disinvite him from dinner.
Uninvited.
yeah.
I was once the host for this wedding, and the bride and the groom had told me to watch out, be prepared for the wedding day. I was like, wait, what's going to happen? And the bride had told me that my mother might show up unhappy. So I was like, what is going on? Tell me. So she gave me like the entire context of the wedding. Basically, her mother did not want to attend her own daughter's wedding because it was not going to be a religious wedding. And her mother had been upset that that was the case. But the bride and the groom had wanted a contemporary kind of wedding, like the hotel banquet, free and easy, chill kind of vibes. And the mother got so angry that she didn't even come. So the bride was so afraid that during the solemnization, her mother would barge in and stop everything. All the cousins were activated, including her own brother. On the day of the solemnization, everyone was just like, yes, looking out to see if there were any traces of her mother coming. That was how intense it got.
That's so sad.
Yeah, can you imagine on her special day, it's supposed to be a happy one, but she's constantly looking out for signs of her mother. That's so sad.
Oh no.
That's so sad.
I think when it comes to things like this, suddenly everything else is trivial, whatever.
Like even the red wine on the dress, that becomes something so trivial.
I still wouldn't want that.
For sure.
I'm not a mom and I can't understand how that mom feels. But to not be at your daughter's wedding because of something like that,
That you wanted for her.
wow, that's a very tough situation to be in. That's trauma for many years after.
Agree.
I'm so sorry for...
No, man.
Did the mom show up?
She didn't.
Oh.
Actually, on hindsight, I feel like that's better. It's better that she doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Because she would have caused more stress if she did.
No, I think so too.
But when we speak about wedding anxiety, according to an article by Harper's Bazaar, it actually highlights the pressure for a wedding to succeed because a lot of brides often use this as a self-reflection of their personal worth. Like, okay, if my wedding succeeds, I have my self-worth. I caused it to happen. I am worthy of it. But if it fails, a lot of people leave disappointed or unhappy. Maybe the bride will take it upon herself, feeling like, oh man, I did such a bad job.
I think a lot of things that happen probably are not because of you. So don't take it too hard.
Exactly.
Don't take it too personally and just try to have a good frame of mind before you even start planning a wedding. Yeah.
And communication with your other half is key. Okay, so we're going to tell you a series of stories from now on. And then at the end of this let's all rank what would be our worst fear.
Okay.
Okay, story number 1.
Yep.
there wasn't enough food.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Worst nightmare.
So someone from online said that she heard this story from her parents. They had gone to a distant relative's wedding, whose mother was known to be very overbearing, very demanding.
Okay.
The groom only wanted a small wedding with close relatives, but basically the mum wanted to invite the entire kampong.
Oh.
So the groom only catered for what he thought or who he thought was going to come for the wedding, not knowing that his mother had invited the entire kampong.
Oh, gosh.
So as a result, there wasn't enough food. The chefs basically were scrambling to make simple dishes with whatever ingredients they could find to feed the extra number of people. And the parents who went to the wedding witnessed the whole fiasco, decided not to sit down, also because they couldn't find a place to sit down. There were so many people. They just passed the ang pao, said their congratulations and left.
Oh no.
I feel like this is due to a lack of communication.
I think when dealing with the older generation, sometimes it gets a little bit tough. I've actually heard of a story quite recently where a wedding was called off because they couldn't agree.
Who couldn't agree?
So basically, I think one party's family had decided that they wanted to pay for everything, which is okay. If you want to do that, then sure.
Was it the guy?
It was the girl's family.
Okay, I can see where this goes.
Yeah. So while they were like, no, it's okay, like actually it's fine, but the family insisted that they wanted to do this. So, okay. Now, the other problem is the guy's family, or mother in particular, is insisting on more invites. But you're not paying for it.
This is where the communication breakdown is.
Yeah.
Because
It's very tough.
the guy's family already said that, no, you don't have to pay for it. The family said that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so now that it becomes like, okay, the bride's family wants to pay for it, and as a result, the groom's family is unable to invite more people, that doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
Is it?
I'm glad they called it off so they can discuss.
Have more time,
Yeah,
yeah.
have more time to discuss.
I know, as in they broke up.
Oh, no.
Oh. Yeah.
I feel bad.
I would like to repeat Hazel's point. Your marriage is forever, your wedding's a day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This story this happened in Singapore, obviously, as you were here. This would be my biggest nightmare. Forget the red wine. Forget the wardrobe malfunction. Forget everything.
Oh, no. Okay.
Forget saying the wrong name at the altar. I attended a wedding once where one of the guests tripped and spilled a bowl of laksa all over the bride.
Oh, no.
Never serve laksa at your wedding. Never serve curry. Don't serve anything with colour. Just serve clear liquids.
What are we eating then?
I don't know. Congee. You eat congee.
So no red wine either?
No. Everything has to be clear. This is insane. A bowl of laksa on the bride? How would
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Does this make you feel like you want a backup dress in the room?
Oh no, I'll definitely have a backup dress, but it will probably be a cheap dress as a backup.
Wow.
Just to change into if it gets stained.
But you know what
Wow.
I think I would do?
Okay.
I would just roll with the punches and take photos with the laksa stained dress. And I will look back on it and think like, hey, quite funny actually.
But what if this is the early part of the ceremony and like all your pictures
Well, I am
is you with
sure
your laksa
the
stain?
pre-wedding photo shoots, the number of photos I've taken previously would have sufficed. And then I have some photos of me in the clean dress and then some in the laksa stained dress. Yeah! Well, I think that would how I would react lah. That would be how I would have reacted.
Okay, so the next one, right?
Okay.
It's not so much the wedding itself, but it's slightly before that. You know,
Okay.
we're very familiar with something called Gatecrash.
Yeah.
And sometimes people take it a little bit too far.
The bridesmaids.
The
you mean.
bridesmaids.
Yes. Do you think sometimes it's almost like humiliation for the groomsmen?
A little.
Sometimes I just think like I'm very worried about the groom and the groomsmen. Because some of them like can't take spicy stuff. Then like they
Exactly.
make them eat like chili padi.
Yeah.
It's
Because
very scary.
In Chinese, we have this thing,
Yes.
酸甜苦辣. So
The different flavors.
we want the groom to go through all stages to prove that
Of
they
hell.
will go through everything for the wife, right?
yeah.
Correct. So this person obviously in Singapore says it happened to a close friend of mine. During the Gatecrash, the sisters played a stupid game where they got the groom and brothers to put on swimming trunks and parade around the neighborhood.
Oh, my gosh.
no.
Someone ended up calling the police. Needless to say, it was not a very fun morning.
I think that's quite funny though.
It's quite
Wait,
funny
am I
lah,
wrong?
actually.
No, actually, I'll be laughing.
It's
lah.
quite fun. That will make such a great Gatecrash video at the wedding.
The police
showing
coming?
up.
No, but as the groomsman, right? Would you be pissed Like, nah, babe, you asked me to wear trunks. Then now I gonna.
Okay, like if you're a fun-loving bunch, maybe
Yeah,
not.
I don't know. I think it makes a good story.
But you know what? I'm not gonna have a gatecrash at my wedding next
Okay,
year.
why?
I
Too
am
many things
not.
could go wrong or what?
No, I just don't see the point in
Unnecessary?
it. It's
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Me too. I'm not very much for that tradition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially reading this story from Micro, also a Singaporean story.
Okay.
I heard once that a groom, he had to drink some concoction of chili sauce, soya sauce, other sauces.
Exactly. 酸甜苦辣.
Yeah,
Everything
that
mixed
they
together.
mixed everything
Yeah.
together. He started vomiting.
Oh,
he
no.
fainted, and they had to call an ambulance for him on the morning of his wedding.
Oh, no.
I don't know if he made it to his wedding, but he probably got food poisoning.
Hey, can you imagine as the bride, on the morning of your wedding, you hear that your groom has been sent to hospital and you haven't even seen him?
veil, even before your veil is lifted, like,
Yo, that's insane.
Oh.
That's
How,
insane. This other story, okay, is from an online user from Reddit. It's titled My WTF Wedding. So she said she had two funny but OMG moments at the wedding, and one of them was when her little brother screamed, "Boring!" during the Lord's Prayer
during the Lord's Prayer
at the church.
in the Lord's name.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
And the second one was when her uncle got super drunk and her boss dared him to run across one of the tables at the reception.
Stupid.
The uncle ended up knocking the table over. And by the way, they had lit candles at the table. Okay,
Oh,
thankfully
no.
that didn't start a fire.
This one children.
Yeah.
People do stupid things
Yeah.
when, you know,
They're
they have
drunk.
alcohol in them.
And the last one, this one, I would have been angry, okay?
Okay.
So this moment was when the maid of honor started a speech by saying that, when she and the bride first met, she thought that she was an annoying bitch.
What?
And was
This is your
confused.
maid of honor.
Yes. And the maid of honor said that she was confused about how someone was going to marry her, like the
I'm
bride.
sorry.
But luckily, her brother immediately grabbed the mic when she was done and gave a much kinder speech.
Now, in this situation, like, is it just that the maid of honor is a bit?
Insensitive.
I mean,
Like
I don't even
bun-bun?
think that's insensitive. I think that's like.
I
Plain
think
stupid.
you need to rethink your friendship. I don't think she really wants the best for you, know?
My friendship would end right there.
Yeah, but maybe the maid of
100%.
honor thinks that, she and the bride are so close that they can pull off such jokes. But it is a bit rude, to be honest.
It's very rude.
I've heard of something like that. So basically, someone went out on stage and gave a speech and basically said that, the couple is here today, but did you know that the groom used to date people of his same gender?
But was the groom okay with that?
Of course. Yeah. Oh damn!
What happened after that?
Some crying ensued.
Oh no.
Why would you say that? Like drunk or what?
Don't know leh.
Maybe, right? Why would you tell people that? You
That's
basically
funny.
no, you just outed him for no reason.
Yeah.
Why? Yikes!
Unacceptable leh.
Yeah,
No,
no,
no, no,
not
very
acceptable.
unacceptable.
No, not at all.
So this actually happened in Hawaii. This
Okay.
next story.
Hawaii.
So I was dating this guy, and his sister sent out wedding invites to Hawaii. His mother actually offered to pay for our accommodation to attend his sister's wedding. So the two of us and his parents flew out together to Hawaii
Sweet.
Okay.
to attend the sister's wedding. Sounds great.
Yes.
Not really. The day of the wedding, my then boyfriend and I were woken up with frantic banging, boom, 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 on our hotel room door.
Okay.
It was his mom crying her eyes out. Basically, the groom-to-be had let the bride know, yo, I don't want to get married, the wedding's off, and that he would not be attending the wedding. Turns out he never even sent his family the wedding invites.
What?
He knew from a long time ago that he didn't want to marry her. He just chickened out and didn't know how to communicate it to her until the day of the wedding. So like it was nobody there but their family because his family never got invites.
That's so bad.
How does this happen? Like wouldn't
This guy's issues.
yeah.
Yes, but I'm happy for the bride because then you wouldn't have gotten married to a person like that, right?
Yeah,
At least it
but-
was called off there and then.
You must wait until now, not really.
Yeah, lor. That one is very irresponsible.
Yeah.
Very leh.
Mm.
As much as you don't know how to break the news or whatever it is.
Mm.
Really?
You can't do that. Even if you send a text, even if you don't say it face to face, at least get a message across.
Did you see this video that went viral on TikTok recently of this bride in her gown, very beautiful, on the streets of somewhere in New York or something, and basically she's twirling and dancing, and then the caption is, "I got left at the altar."
Oh, yes, I
Yes,
did.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And she says to the camera, like, I just got left at the altar. Yeah.
Is she okay?
Probably not at that point,
Yeah.
but now she's doing
Processing.
a bit better. Processing. I know we're trying to rank worst stories, but without a doubt, I think this next one takes the cake.
Okay.
Like, it is the worst of the worst, even worse than he used to date the same gender. Yeah, I think worse.
What does it tell us?
I used to bartend at a hotel, and obviously there were a lot of weddings. And I saw a wedding disaster that haunts me till this day. We first noticed something was off when we saw the maid of honor was sitting on the groom's lap at the head table for a really long time.
Oh no.
They call it like the red table, is it? Yeah, the main table.
Oh no.
Then it's time to do the speech, right? And her entire 10-minute maid of honor speech is about how the groom has been her best friend since childhood and how their special connection can never be broken. She doesn't mention the bride at all, even though she is the maid of honor for the bride.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So, okay, never mind. Can still close both eyes and move on. The bride and groom have their first dance after barely interacting with each other all night. But the maid of honor practically shoves all the other women away so that she can dance with the groom and even like grind it up on him a little bit
Sorry, what?
on the dance floor, okay? They say we were flabbergasted. But everyone and the bride seemed oblivious. So we just, what can we do, right? We're third parties. After we start winding down for the evening, it's time for, the bride and the groom to kind of depart and go and head up to their room. Except nobody can find the groom.
Oh no.
Guess where he is?
With
In
her,
a room with the
obviously.
maid of honor.
Yeah. He was in the bridal suite with the maid of honor.
The bridal suite?
And the hair in a disheveled mess. I don't think they were doing a little bit of hairstyling there. I don't think that's what was going on. So basically, they tell the groom, your bride is looking for you downstairs. You won't believe this. The two walk back into the room like nothing ever happened. There are a lot of red flags here.
That's the problem.
The bride, are you blind?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I have so many questions.
I think something must have already been wrong. I don't think this came out at the wedding.
Yeah. And
know?
let's look at it this way, right? If this can happen at your wedding and she's your maid of honor and apparently your groom and her have been friends since childhood or whatever it was, has nothing happened before this? You must have seen something. You know what I mean?
I think she just
It sounds like a on the daily thing.
Yeah. Like a build-up kind of thing.
They say love is blind. Sometimes you really just ignore what's in front of you just because you really want it to work out. I think that's what was happening here. But please don't ever do that. Even if you're very close to your wedding already and you have to cancel your whole wedding because you find out that your fiancé has been cheating on you. Like, don't ever not trust your gut.
Oh my God. Which reminds me.
Yeah.
I know of this story where the day before the wedding, the bride-to-be finds out that her soon-to-be husband,
Has been cheating.
yes,
The day of the wedding.
the day before.
The day before the wedding. What would you girls do?
Cancel.
Cancel the wedding.
Call it off.
What would you do, Azura?
I don't know there.
No, I feel like I would talk it out with my other half. But even if he promises to repent and not do the same thing, it won't ever be the same
But
for
at
me.
that point of time where it's the day before your wedding, wouldn't you think that, okay, let's say on a normal day, on a regular day, you find out your partner has been cheating on you versus on the day before your wedding, I think there's a lot more things to think about. You're thinking about everything now.
Okay, scenario.
Okay.
It's a destination wedding and your guests have all paid for their flights and accommodation to attend your wedding and you find out that your husband-to-be cheated on you the day before the wedding. Hazel, what will you do?
Okay. Two things I'll do.
Okay.
Number one, show up without him and just have a good time, I guess.
I was thinking that.
Oh, have a party.
Yeah, like just tell everybody what's going on.
I'll
have
make
a
an
pity
announcement.
party.
Tell them the truth.
Tell them the truth. Of course,
I would confirm announce. I'll confirm announce.
I'm not in the wrong.
Yeah.
I would tell them the truth and then, anyway, we're all here already. Let's just drink and have fun. Party! Or secondly, show up together with my other half. Announce that we are split up. But you know what? Let's just enjoy the rest of today before we head back.
But before, when you arrive with him, he already knows that you know, or
You don't
Already
know.
knows. He already knows.
Interesting. I like that. I like that. Wow. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please direct them to Hey Hi Hazel on Instagram because she's got some really good ones. I know what we're talking about today seems to exacerbate the fear and anxiety about a wedding.
Yes.
But we're just telling you the worst of the worst, just so that, if anything, like a small hiccup happens at yours, it could have been so much worse.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
It's not the worst yet. Okay, but for me, out of all the stories, my biggest fear is the gatecrash one.
As in the vomiting,
The
ambulance.
vomiting. I'm so
Okay.
afraid like my groom would vomit right
Yeah.
before the wedding and would feel so unwell that he cannot attend the wedding because I want the wedding to be happy, fun, and perfect for the both of us.
So no gatecrash.
No gatecrash for
Okay.
me. But not because I want to avoid that. It's just I don't see a point in gatecrash.
Okay.
Fair.
But for the very last story that Jermaine mentioned, the one where the maid of honor was on the groom's lap,
That one I got a lot of problem lah.
I mean, it is a fear, but I just don't see it happening to me. Because I would have been able to see certain signs before I marry this person, right?
I feel like I wouldn't even call it a wedding problem. It's a relationship problem.
Yeah,
Fair.
exactly. It's a life problem.
I think for me, the laksa one takes the cake.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
So no laksa? I
just-
can't have laksa?
You can eat laksa outside. Just don't bring it into the venue.
Outside.
You want you eat the laksa outside.
Hey, I go outside eat with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
you
okay,
tapao
okay.
and you eat it outside.
Okay, question. You know how everybody wants to have fun at wedding?
Sure.
You want to have fun, you know, as a couple, you want to have fun as well. It's usually like a party, right? Does it scare you that you or your groom gets a little bit too wasted?
Oh, I think I'm prepared for that.
Really?
Not for me,
Okay.
but for the groom. Because the guys are always like, drink,
Yeah, yeah,
drink.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Like I said, I'm not expecting sex on the night of the wedding anyways.
Sure.
So
What if your groom is the one who got too drunk and threw it on you?
Then you better pay for it after the wedding. He
I can't-
better buy me 10 bags.
I can't be angry at him.
Yep. But you can make him feel guilty, babe.
No lah. I mean, he didn't mean it, you know.
That's why he feels guilty. And he can buy you back.
Yeah, I'm glitching. I don't know. Let's pray it never happens.
Okay.
But we have some tips. If you are feeling a little bit anxious or have some fears about your wedding or your wedding that you don't even have planned yet, but for some reason you're just having fears. Yeah.
Okay, number 1, acknowledge your feelings. I
Okay.
think it's okay to feel anxious, to feel nervous. I think every bride experiences that right before the wedding. But acknowledge them and use this acknowledgement to calm yourself down.
As with a lot of things, we always say, talk it out.
Yeah.
A little bit harder for some people, we understand, but
Yeah.
talk it out, share your fears, your anxieties with someone you trust. And I also want to add on, right, and say, like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, I think people are very ready to help, so you don't have to think that you're on your own, you know? Be it your partner, whether it's a close friend, a family member, sometimes just talking about it can make a difference.
Of
Yeah.
course. And I think you can visualize success.
Oh!
Okay, what do I mean by this? I feel like you can picture a few points of your wedding that you see yourself enjoying. For example, maybe talking to your parents, giving them flowers, or that kiss on the stage with your other half. And
With
make
the
sure...
auntie.
Yeah.
That's quite funny actually. And just make sure you hit all these points during your wedding. Because these are the points that help you feel good,
I
right?
believe in self-fulfilling prophecy.
Uh-huh.
If you believe that everything's going to go to shit, it probably will go to shit.
Yep.
So manifest
Yep.
a positive experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on that note, always have a backup plan.
Ah, so true.
Like when the laksa spills on your wedding dress, what are you gonna do? Do you have an extra dress lying somewhere? Make sure that happens. Oh, on my brother's wedding, his pants actually split.
Oh!
No, I think because they did a lot of like the groom's, I don't know, his gatecrash? I don't know what, but the pants split and then we had to like rush from home to bring him a fresh pair of pants. So always have backups.
I think having backups is always great. You can't plan for everything.
Yep.
Just be okay with that and accept that it may not go 100% perfect, but as long as you don't have a bowl of laksa spilled on you or your maid of honor doesn't call you a bitch, I think the wedding
You're not
went
that
well.
bad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, do you
Jom, I have a question for you. Let's say
Okay. I'm sweating.
a guest turns up in a white gown.
A gown.
A gown, ah.
Not just a
'Cause
long
everyone
dress, a gown.
could- yeah, let's say like, you know, like a very fancy dress, a nice white dress.
Then I would spill the laksa on her dress
Okay.
so that it's no longer white.
But you say got no laksa.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Red wine, babe.
This is why you need a backup laksa, just in case. Just in case.
Well, to all of you watching or listening to our episode, and if you're getting married, we want to wish you all the best, okay? Don't forget to plan well for your wedding, rest well, and most importantly, have fun.
That's right. And if you've had a wedding or you've heard of horror stories, let us know in the comments. We want to know actually like what went wrong. What was so scary?
Or give us hypothetical questions.
Yeah, we love those.
Yeah. Then we'll answer them.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
find us on Instagram at itsclarity.co.
Don't forget to listen to us on Me Listen, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, turn on notifications.
And watch us on YouTube because we're wearing this top that Hazel bought for us.
From Japan.
Yeah, we have matching
Yes.
tops again.
Yeah, Blossom Bubbles
I
Buttercup.
know. This is like season 1 of Hush.
Yeah.
Aww. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. Bye guys.
Do you guys actually mind that?
I think that's very disrespectful. It's like the number one.
See, that's why I asked
It's
her.
the number one no at a wedding.
I would wear a white, okay, not a gown lah, like a dress because I think it's okay.
Is it
not?
really white though? Because one time I wore a really, really light blue dress and then someone asked me, why are you wearing a white dress to a wedding? So I realized that actually it's very sensitive and I probably shouldn't have worn that dress.
Oh no! so all these times that I've worn a white dress to host for weddings, I should not be doing so?
But if you're hosting, I think it's different. Hosting should be fine.
Don't wear white lah.
Yeah.